This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
One of the things that got a lot of people going on Saturday was a podcast that I put up, and I've changed my mind a little bit here on something, because I was sitting back and I was thinking about this, and I kind of want to explain to people where I'm at, because maybe some of you did not hear the podcast over the weekend, and maybe I can elaborate a little bit more now that we're on the show. And while, look, I would love to take a O-lineman at number 5. I have no problem with that. I'm not the one that's going to be disappointed. I'll be very happy building up the team overall, especially the lines, because I know that that's what's going to first establish what we need as a team. And then second of all, whenever you do get that quarterback, it makes his life a lot easier. Now, having said all that, I said this on Saturday, and I want to kind of elaborate a little bit more on it, because it kind of came to mind on Friday. And I said, you know what, let's talk a little bit about this, because we got a couple of weeks out from the draft. We're less than 2 weeks away now from the draft, which is really, really cool. We're just over 2 weeks away.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday, it'll be 2 weeks from
Right.
Thursday.
So we're just over 2 weeks away from the draft. And so while I am not a believer that Tua will stay healthy, I am now for drafting him at number 5. I have no problem with that. I'd rather have the offensive lineman, but I do understand taking Tua at 5. And one of the things that I explained on Saturday on the podcast was, you got 14 picks. So if you know what you're doing in the draft, and I believe these guys do know what the hell they're doing in the draft, since I have a lot of confidence in them, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. I can't say don't take the chance and not have confidence, because this is what I was thinking. Okay, you take Tua, and you miss on Tua because he's injury prone, okay? Everybody's going to understand. They might be pissed. They might be frustrated. But most people are going to say, well, dude, the guy can play quarterback, okay? The guy can pass the hell out of the football. He's accurate. So I see why you're taking the chance. It's not like he's a project, and you're hoping you can teach him the game. You're hoping you can teach him pocket presence. You're hoping you can teach him how to throw a deep ball. You're hoping no, none of that is going on. The kid's a quarterback. He plays like a real quarterback, right? So your only thing is injury. So this is the way I'm thinking about it. I was going, well, wait a minute. If you take Tua at 5, now what you got to do with the next 13 picks is hit on 6 or 7 of those, and you're fine. Because you could miss on Tua and hit on 6 or 7 of the next 13 picks, okay? And people say, wow, dude, I know Tua, broke down, and hey, that was kind of the thing. But, man, they had a hell of a draft. They got this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. And before you know it, you got 6, 7 guys that are either studs to really important up to maybe a standout special teamer or something in those 6, 7 guys. And you're like, wow, this is one hell of a draft. Even though you swung and missed with Tua, but we get it. Now, think about it this way. You don't take Tua, but you hit on 6 or 7 of those picks of the 14. You're still going to be labeled, all right, you did a great job, but you effed up because Tua's balling. Even though you had a great draft, everybody's going to say, well, wait a minute, dude, you could have had Tua. Not only, you had a great draft. You got this tackle. You got this outside pass rushing linebacker. You got a hell of a running back. Oh, yeah, you found a guard or a center. And later on, you got the top special teams player on the team that the guy's leading in tackles, and you got some other, really key reserve or whatever, like 6, 7 guys deep, from really studs to really important contributors in other areas. And you're going to go, wow, great draft, but, dude, it could have been much better if you would have hit on Tua. Because whatever you hit on 5, you would have rather hit on Tua. Or you hit on 6 or 7 of those picks and Tua is a bust. You're fine. Either way, what you can't do if you're Chris Greer with 14 picks is probably pass the kid up at 5. Because you have to say, okay, if I have confidence in my drafting ability, if I have confidence in Reggie McKenzie, if I have confidence in Marvin Allen, if I have confidence in my entire scouting staff that we did our job, we can swing and miss with Tua, and we can still have a great draft. Because you know my saying, it's not where you pick, it's who you pick, right? You could have picked Drew Brees instead of Jamar Fletcher. You could have picked Anquan Bolden instead of Eddie Moore. Comprende, compadre? So you're in that position later in the draft, and you had a Hall of Fame player. Think about this. Within a couple of years, you missed on Drew Brees and Anquan Bolden. Hall of Fame players. One early second round, one late second round. Okay? So it's not where you pick, it's who you pick. Now, you could hit on Tua and suck in the rest of the draft and only hit on 2 or 3 picks, and people say, great freaking draft, you got our franchise quarterback. That's the other one that can work out for you if you're Greer. Because if you do hit on Tua, it saves your ass on most of that draft. You don't want to suck on the other 13 picks, but you know what I'm saying. We haven't had a guy since Marino. You draft Tua and you hit on him, you're going to be forgiven for everything. You found us our quarterback. You're in a position. Now, I'm not trading up to number 3 for him. That I'm not doing, okay, because that's part of the talk now. That's the one thing I will not do. I am not trading up for an injury-prone player. I'm not giving up those 13 assets. I'm going to take him at 5 if he's there. If he's not there, then I'll do the best I can for the rest of the draft. But I'm certainly not giving up some picks to move up 2 spots. Not doing that. I don't know if Chris Greer is going to do that or not, but I do understand now taking him at 5. When I think about it, if you're a team that only has the 5th pick in the first round, you have no other picks in the first round. Your pick again is in the second round, another one in the third. I would never take Tua. Okay? Let's understand that. The way I was thinking about it this week, on Friday actually, was that, man, with all these picks, you can afford to take that chance at 5. It's worth it. Screw it, man. Screw it. Take the chance. You just better do your job on the next 13. That's all.
Let me ask you, because I've been over here, I haven't really heard. If we take Tua at 5, you still want to get another quarterback later to kind of cover?
I would. Yeah,
you got to go there, right?
Yeah.
If you go Tua, you got to kind of cover all the bases and get another guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take Davidson, take Stanley, take Morgan, take
the Davidson kid, man. Just that print, the way he was, the way
I like
he threw, man. That's
that's a project.
It's where it's
that's
nice.
A project I'd take a chance on, and if he screws up and fails, so what? Move on. No big deal. No loss. But I would do that. Now, but again, to me, that's where this Tua thing kind of now. That's where I changed my mind a little here. And if they take him, I'm not going to be critical. I understand. I understand that, why not swing on the potential, man? And if you hit, you end up, striking gold. But if you miss and he becomes that guy, it haunts you like Drew Brees haunts you forever. And Anquan Bolden haunts us forever. You know what I mean? We could just go on and talk about different players that have haunted us for a while. Let's see. Game Over 954 says, I would take Tua if he's there at 5, and Love if he's still there at the next pick. You mean at 18? I would too. Love, I don't mind at 18. I can't take him at 5 because of all the mistakes. I just can't. Jacques Bethune says that's fake news that his legs are bad. What do you mean that's fake news? I don't know what you're talking. Oh, you must be talking to somebody else. Now, his ankles are obviously repaired.
Yeah, and if you remember,
and they could get re-injured too again.
No, but he said that there's Kevlar in there, right?
I know.
And there actually should be better.
They should be. No, I know.
But he said.
No, it's what's it called? Will said it. Will explained the whole surgery to us and everything. But all I watch him is I watch him breaking down constantly. So why would I believe that he's going to stay healthy? You know what I mean? And
Hold on. So his ankles are reinforced. So like the next weakest point's his knees. So his knees are going to go now?
It could be. Could be. Hey, look, guys. I already made this mistake once before. Okay? I was a huge Devontae Parker guy. Still a Devontae Parker guy. But I went down in flames with him. Because he was a bust until last year. But he was injury prone like he was in college. You know, and I kind of overlooked it. You know why I did that? Because I was a Demaryius Thomas fan, too, coming out of Georgia Tech. And he had an ankle surgery also at Georgia Tech. And he did have his share of injuries early on in his career, and then he kind of overcame it and then went on a run for several years that he was pretty much healthy and was a beast. And I was a huge Demaryius Thomas fan, wanted him for the Dolphins. And he had a little bit of injuries, but I was like, man, this guy's a hell of a player. I'm taking a chance. And you know what? It ended up being a good pick. Okay? Devontae Parker, I don't know yet. We'll see. If he can build on the next couple of years off of what he did this year, then he can justify the pick. Right now, he's not justifying it. He hasn't justified it. I mean, and that's where I made the mistake. I mean, what can I tell you? I took the chance, and I said, no, you know, he's had some injuries. He'll overcome it. He'll be fine in the NFL. Man, it took him 5 years. If any of us tell you, no, yeah, you could draft him, but you won't get anything out of him till year 5, nobody takes him at number 11 overall. You can't wait 5 years. I mean, are you kidding me? That's crazy. So that's where I made the mistake, and here's where I'm talking about where I understand only because it's the quarterback. That's the only reason why. And he's really good. If he wasn't such a great passer, then there's no way that I would be, you know, even for it. But because the Dolphins have 14 picks, that's where I say, yeah, man, take him. Screw it. Just make sure that you kick ass after that. That's all.